So how do you maximize your week, get the most out of every day with kids, a business, just life in general? Well, follow and I'll show you some easy steps that you can take right now in order to achieve that. So firstly, I'd like to start by saying we're all stuck at home in isolation. Myself, husband, kids, we've all got COVID. Luckily, symptoms very, very mild, but it just goes to show that you really need plans in place in order to be able to keep running your business, which I know is really time consuming and tough, and also looking after kids, getting better yourself, sick kids, and sleepless nights, you name it. It's really, really hard. So systems in place are key. So I want to share with you some of my tricks as how I get around doing everything. Okay, I don't, but I can at least pick and choose the things that really, really matter and the things that you really need to nut down on in your business in order to achieve the best results. So firstly, hack number one, jump online, go to Kmart, Big W, go buy yourself a whole bunch of cheapo toys and entertain the kids. Now that's not really where I'm going with this, but I can just hear my husband and kids playing in the background. If you can hear any noises, that's the new Hot Wheels tracks. They're getting a workout at the moment. So hack number one for you. Alright, let's get down to actual real life business. Set time aside. Now everyone talks about time blocking. Busy mum with kids, it's just time blocking would be one of those magical dreams. But you need to set aside time and have goals set for each day. So for example, if you want to do one social media post, see if you can achieve that. Say, okay, it's going to take me 20 minutes. It's going to be a bit of research, some filming, try the copy or the text underneath, and then time to publish, and then a bit of community engagement. So if you can set aside 20 minutes, maybe in a nap time, something like that, great. Time blocking is perfect if you want to work between 9 and 10 or 10 and 11, but kids don't know anything about time blocking, so it's pretty well. Good luck with that one. Some other things that you can do is I like to use a thing called Asana. So this is my Asana workstation. So basically you can either have a look at it online or you can download the app to your desktop or phone, and then that way you have a record of everything that it is for you to do. And once again, I keep talking about getting stuff out of your head and onto paper, or in this case onto the computer. So Asana is fantastic for that. So as you can see here, I've put up everywhere where I'm going to either publish a reel, story, post, YouTube, email, newsletter, and that way I know when it is that I'm doing something. It stops the overwhelm, so you don't look at everything as a whole, and you can set month by month goals to what you want to do. So at the start of every month I look the month ahead and I put down everything that it is that I want to achieve. Now as you can see here, was supposed to publish a reel. I have neglected to do this week, and that's obviously because I'm not feeling 100%. I will get back into it next week, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being okay. Now, I'm normally a perfectionist, however, this week I feel pretty average, so we'll get to it next week. I really want to make an effort though of getting my YouTube videos out every week. So as you can see here, every Monday I will upload my YouTube video. I've also going to try and publish a reel and send out an email newsletter which tells my lovely audience that I have uploaded that YouTube video. I'll give them a few hints and tips on what it is that they'll see in that video, and I think that's the best way to do it. And then you can see over here, so next Thursday I'll be publishing a reel. Now if I click on that, I've also added in the description of everything what it is that I'm going to be publishing it about. So I've already created my content. Now I haven't gone ahead and filmed all of these. I like to film everything in one day, batch it on the day that I just feel like it for the week ahead. So today I will be also filming all the reels, so keep a lookout for them on my Instagram, and you'll be able to see that's how I normally go about doing things. So on the 5th, on the Friday, I will be talking about using a notebook and pen, and also how to use Otter. So you can see, and I've talked about this in previous videos, use your one main source of social media. So for me it's YouTube, and then from there I branch out and I take the topic of that week and then use it for my Reels, Instagram posts, etc. Now you probably notice, let me get out of this one here, you probably notice that I'm doing lots of Reels. Now that's because my Instagram account, if you're on it, you'll know that it's really brand new for this section of my business. So Reels are a great way to expand your reach, to find new audience and to find new customers. So I have made an effort to publishing 3 a week for a growth mode and only 1 Instagram post just to be able to keep the post rolling on. Now that's the strategy that I'm going for at the moment. Follow if you like any more ideas. Comment below if there's anything in particular that you find really good for growth and anything that you found with your particular brand and your niche in the market. And as you can see, I do like to write everything that I'm doing in this. For my business, I've got here revise my modules in my course. I like to be able to keep on top of it all and keep everything all up and running, and more importantly on point. So everything that's really relevant for right now. Social media moves so quickly, as we all know. So there we have it, guys. Asana. Now this is only the free. As you can see, I can certainly upgrade it, and I find it quite sufficient for now anyway, and as my team grows I'll probably need to upgrade, but right now it's perfect the way it is. Now if you're not a fan of Asana, then I can also suggest just Google Calendar, or Trello's a really good one also. You can also, I'll have a quick look, you can show up here and change it into a board. You can have it as a list, but I just like using the standard calendar version of it. It gives me a good overview of what to achieve for the week. Okay, another really important tip that I find really useful is using and maximizing Google Drive, Dropbox, or if your Apple, whatever the Apple equivalent is. As you can tell, I'm Android based myself, but that way you can work remotely from a home computer, a laptop, even your mobile phone. So if you get an idea as you're walking down the park or changing a nappy, you can quickly grab something, write it down, and then when you go back to your home desktop, it's all there waiting for you to go. So I always find that one is really useful. So talking about Google Drive, Dropbox, your choice of cloud software, naming of your files is key. Now this saves so much time. So if you want to save yourself endless time hunting through folders after folders to try and find the file that you're after, this one is really simple. You can start it right today, and it just means that you don't lose those files all the time. Now, what am I talking about file naming? So file naming is something that is very personal to everyone, but I'll show you the convention that I use to keep things nice and straightforward and simple. Now firstly, get into the habit of creating files, sub-files, and when you name your documents, actually name your documents. So what do I mean by that? Now I'm here having a look at my own personal YouTube folder. So what I've done here is, and let's have a dive into a look on the actual video that we're currently filming, YouTube productivity, and then that's the date that I'm going to be releasing this particular video. So it's a bit strange, I'm talking about the future in the past, but bear with me with this one. So this is the way that I choose. I always like to put the social media or the topic that it is that I'm talking about here. So YouTube, if it's Facebook, Instagram, if there's something that I've saved for a particular social media, even if there's something for my own business that it might be an accounting related, or I use Xero for example, or something like that, put the title of it to start with. Then there's the productivity, that just gives you a bit of an idea on what it is that I'm talking about, or what it is that the files are there, and I always use the date at the end. It makes it so much easier to find things. Now when I'm working with a team, I like to put my initial at the end of it here. I'll also be able to put in if it's a version 1, 2, 3, 1.1, 1.2. That way I know that I'm always talking about the latest version, and everyone's on the same page, like quite literally. So if I open up this one here, let's have a look what's inside it. And so basically you'll find the same file naming convention that I use. There's my Word document. It's currently got the outline, what it is that I'll be using. So YouTube productivity outline, and then the date of the release. Or you might decide to do the date of when you create the file. Completely up to you, but basically one thing you need to do is always make sure that whatever file naming convention you use it throughout the board. So it makes it so much simpler. If you're looking for a file, to go straight to that particular topic, subtopic, then you can find it nice and straightforward. I use OneDrive, that's my favourite. I find that that works really, really well. But whatever you do, just keep it the continuity going. So other tips that I have for you is a program that I love to use called Otter. Now, I'm not an affiliate, it's just something that I like using. Now, Otter is an app on your telephone. Once again, I know you can get it on Google Play Store. I'm assuming you can get it on Apple. Please, in the comments below, tell me if you can, please. If you're an Apple lover out there, let me know in the comments below if there's the equivalent or the same app that we can share on to all of our viewers and have that community feel. I love it. Anyway, Otter. Now, Otter is a transcribing software. You get the free version, which just gives you limited amount of words and voices and everything that you can say, but it's fantastic because you can pick up your phone, an idea pops into your head. I know it happens with me all the time. I've got kids, everything, and I don't have time to go and actually write it down. Pick up your phone, press the record button and just talk. And it just transcribes what it is that you're wanting. It's fantastic. Highly, highly recommended. It saves you getting those ideas out of your head and into somewhere. And in this case, it's Otter. If you're a little bit more old school and you don't want to use something like Otter, or you don't want to let your kids see you on your telephone all the time, grab a notebook and pen. It's so simple. The whole idea is, if you have an idea, just get it out of your head. You've got enough to worry about. Just get that idea down somewhere. So if you've got a notebook and piece of paper, a pen, whatever it is, just even one of those little ones that big, write it down. And then when you have a moment spare, after the kids go to sleep, childcare, whatever the case may be, you can then sit down and go back through all those notes, and you don't forget anything. You also don't spend hours sitting there going, oh, what was it that I was thinking about? I know I do that all the time. Don't know about you. And probably one of the biggest things is prepare for setbacks. It's okay. Life and business and raising kids and trying to mix them all together, it is tough and it's not perfect. So be prepared for any setbacks that you have. I like to personally try and plan at least 1 week in advance. Now, we're stuck at home at the moment and I'm trying to keep that maintenance of 1 week ahead. So I'm recording this now. Next week I'll release this video, and with any luck I'll be 100% back together. But I always like to be a week in advance. You never know what's going to happen. Also, it takes the pressure off. So a week advance in my social media, a week advance in where my business is at, in accounting, the whole works. And at least then that way it gives you a little bit of breathing space, and it means that you don't stress out about last minute things. So if you're somebody who is a last minute type person, highly recommend to get onto that Asana, or Trello is a lovely software, even just your Google Calendar. Time out what it is that you want to achieve and when you want to achieve it. And that goes for everything in your business, not just your social media side of things. If you need production, if you're needing to do a pour of your wax candles, if you're having to do a run of sewing, try and nut it out so you always have a bit of a leadway. A week, 2 weeks, if you can do more, fantastic. It takes that pressure off. So there you have it, guys. Some easy tips that you can implement straight away. So let's do a bit of a recap. So things like calendar, time blocking, or the kids version of time blocking, which is just setting aside somewhere during the day half an hour to achieve something, whether it be scheduling a social media post, whether it be something for your handmade business, whether it be anything that you need to achieve. Just pick one and set aside time during the day. It doesn't matter when. Another one is using a calendar. Asana is a really good one. Otherwise, get those ideas out of your head onto a piece of paper, or something like Otter, the software. Other options are Google Drive, fantastic for just working remotely anywhere around your house, whether it be laptop, home computer, emails, on your phone, anything like that. You need the flexibility with kids. Kids don't go by the book, as you very well know. So we can't operate by the book. We need to think outside the square and have some ideas in place to be able to help you with that. Also, don't panic if there's any setbacks. If you don't get anything done, for those who follow my social media, probably noticed that this week, i.e. last week, because I'll upload this video next week, that gets a bit confusing, but you'll probably notice I haven't posted anything on social media. Now, I'm a digital manager, a marketer, so if I don't, it's okay. And you know what? I just didn't feel like it, to be honest. I could have scheduled, absolutely, and as I said, I always work a week in advance, but I thought, I don't have the time for the community engagement, and now I don't want to just post and then not show up. I like being able to be out there with my audience, with my customers, my clients, my potential customers, and answer the questions. Now, if I am not on my phone or by the computer to be able to answer that and have that community engagement, then I figured, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate on getting better myself, my kids getting better, spending the time with them, and to me, in that week, it's more important. So, as a digital marketer, if I didn't post anything for the week, then it's okay if you don't also. Alright guys, well, that's it for me today. Please hit that subscribe button if you would like any more hints and tips on all things social media, SEO, how to time manage, how to work with a business and kids. This channel here is dedicated to all of you guys who like your handmade, small, boutique businesses, want to get it up and running on social media, increase those sales, bring in those profits, and create that lifestyle that you want. Alright guys, well, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.